Hello, my name is Melinda. Welcome back to my knitting channel here on YouTube. I am a knitter and a mom here in the Seattle, Washington area, and I wanted to share a catch-up with you, a January catch-up, to show you what I have been up to since the holidays. So grab a cup of tea or coffee and cozy up with me. I wanted to start with my finished and almost finished objects. First up are my non-Christmassy Christmas socks that I made for my kids. And I'll show them to you and then I'll tell you the story. One pair has already been worn, these, and one pair has not yet been worn. You can see the afterthought heel is still a flap. It's not been worn in. These were also knit with the afterthought heel, but they flatten out after being worn. This pattern is the Totally Rad Ribbed Socks by Summer Lee, and I love it, especially for kids because it's got enough ribbing. There's a little bit of rib up here, and then it's stockinette with some fun stripes, and they can pick out the colors, which is fun, and then some more ribbing. And then I chose to do the afterthought heel, but the ribbing, I think, especially with kids' socks, just help keep it up on their little legs. Loved this pattern. The story with these is that I wanted to create red hiking socks for my whole family of 5, and I was going to give them to them for Christmas, which I almost did. It was just after New Year's. So I wanted the colors to be Christmassy, the red, but also to be able to be worn after Christmas, like throughout the whole year hiking. And so both of them came up with their own colors. This is my son's, and this can be like, 4th of July, red, white, and blue colors, always fun. And then my daughter liked the green for Christmas, but also liked that little pink in there too. So I love the pattern. I'm definitely gonna make more for my youngest, and then also a pair for my spouse and I. So maybe by summer, all 5 of us will have a pair of these. One thing I did different, sock-wise, this time around, I've made a lot of socks before, is that I used size 0 needles, little teeny tiny ones, and I found that this was really great to get just a like store-bought feeling tight gauge sock, one that wasn't floppy and really stays on. And my daughter can attest. She's brought in her socks sledding twice. They stay on, they're warm, it holds up well. I use, the red is Cascade Heritage sock yarn, and then the stripes are just scrap yarn that I've had, that they look through and pick their colors. So these are the 2 first finished objects that I have. Let's grab a drink of coffee. All right, and the next object I have to show to you, it is an almost finished object. I'm just finishing up the short sleeves. It is the Friday Tee by Petite Knit. And I have finished the ribbing, and I am on to one of the short sleeves. It's about a 4-inch short sleeve, and then I will quickly do up the other. And this one I've been working on since late fall last year, and I've loved it so far. I like the broken rib. It's one round essentially of knit, and then another round of knit 1, purl 1. So that's fun to do. It's engaging, and the stripes are fun to switch. What gave me pause in December, especially when everybody was home for the holidays, I was so scared to start the Italian bind off on the bottom, and the sleeves will use an Italian bind off as well. I've never done Italian bind off, and I had seen a lot about it I had seen people commenting on it and doing it on YouTube, on Instagram, etc. It sounded intimidating, and so I just let this sit in timeout, if you will, for most of December. But after the new year, I pulled myself up by the bootstraps and just dove in. And of course, once you start, it's not that hard. The biggest thing for me was reducing the 4 steps into essentially what is 2 steps. It can, when you look at the instructions or read the directions, it is a sewn bind off, so you do it with a tapestry needle and a long piece of a long tail, essentially. It's 4 steps, but you really can combine it into 2, and that you don't have to pull out the long tail after each 4 steps. You can essentially do 2 of them, pull it through, and then do the other 2 and pull it through, and then you've got, that's one like sequence, if you will. But the result is really nice, I will say. It's elastic, and it's just like a continuation of the rib, which is really nice. It does look a bit more finished, a bit more professional, and it's not as sometimes with the regular bind off, it's just tight, and it kind of cinches in right at the bottom, and it's just a row. So this is a nice, I'm glad I challenged myself to do that. So this will be done very soon, and I'm looking forward to wearing it this winter and into the spring. I think this winter I'll probably wear it like under a long sleeve t-shirt or a thin turtleneck that I have, and then in the spring I'll be able to wear it on its own. So yeah, this is the Friday tee by Petite Knit. The yarn that I'm using for this project is the Woolly Knit 4-ply merino cones. I'm using a beige and a red color, and really enjoying the cones. I think I'm gonna be doing a future video all about the cones, why I buy them, and how best to use them. All right, and my other work in progress that some of you have seen before is my Cozy Comfort Throw blanket, and this pattern is by Homespun House. So I've added maybe 5 more colors since last time, and it is just a it's a really great scrap yarn project. I'm gonna knit on it while I talk with you a little bit. It's a really great scrap yarn project. Pattern is great, definitely buy it. She has you hold one strand with your scraps, and that strand stays consistent throughout the blanket. She has suggestions about how to manage different weight. She has in the pattern instruction for bind off, how to give it a nice clean edge, an I-cord edge, and I might be at that point soon. I'm deciding how long to make it. I definitely could finish it right now and it be like a junior, like fit my son's twin bed. I might want to keep going on it though. I'll talk with him about it. I want to give it to him for his birthday this spring. And one fun tip, or one fun way that I'm making sure that I'm knitting on it and also hanging out with him, is that I put it in a basket under his bed. So that's where it lives. So I know when I go in there and chat with him after the younger ones go to bed that I have something to knit on. And it's also nice because it's for him, it's going to him, so that's where its destination will be anyways. Well, hopefully not under the bed, but on top of the bed. So that's kind of just a fun thing to come up with. Yeah, so this has been a great winter project. This is definitely a project I was able to work on in December when everybody was home from school and work. And what's nice when it gets this long is that you essentially can wear it as a blanket while you knit on it, so it's the perfect thing to like watch a movie with. So yeah, this is the Cozy Comfort Throw by Homespun House. All right, and now I wanted to move on to new projects and acquisitions. I am starting the December bow. I'm starting a December bow for my daughter for Valentine's Day. I know it's called December bow, and it was intended to be used for decoration in the house, it looks like, in the pattern. But I've also seen like hair tie versions where an elastic is put in instead of a leather strap, and it can be worn as a hair tie. And so that's what I am have in mind to make for my daughter to wear around that month. And also, of course, we can use it for the holidays. I'm sure I'll make a couple, because I have a couple daughters. But so far it's been just a little fun. This is a great purse knit, like alternative to a sock. For this pattern so I'm using my red woolly knit that I'm also using for the stripes in the Friday tee, but I also got some red mohair. It's so fun to knit this. It's so beautiful. The mohair that I got is the Barocco Ariel, and this is the color Ruby. And this, I was inspired by Amy from Knee Knits, and she was on the hunt for some red yarn, like perfect red yarn, and or red mohair, and she had shared this on her in her account. And so it was right at the time where I also needed some red mohair. So I like that it's not too blue based or too orangey base, yellow base. It's just a good true red. I think it's reading a little bit warm on the camera here, but in real life it's just a good perfect true red. So yeah, that's the December bow. Essentially you knit, like there's some increases, and then you knit a long strip, and then there's some decreases, and then the pattern has instructions for how to tie it into a bow. And in the pattern's instructions, it also has how you insert a leather strap to hang it, but I need to look off pattern, I guess on Ravelry or online, to see how people insert an elastic instead for a hair tie, because that's use purpose that I have. So I'm also thinking to adapt the pattern to make a few maybe smaller ones. This is looking rather large, especially for a child's bow. And this December bow pattern, I would say, is a great alternative to the Sophie scarf if you want to gift a quick, fun accessory. And it's a little bit easier in that there aren't constant increases and decreases to keep track of, like in the Sophie scarf. You just have this little bit in the beginning, which is over pretty quickly, and then it's just straight knitting, no shaping for a long time. And it's got the I-cord edging just like the Sophie, so it feels very familiar to the Sophie, but it's easier in that there isn't the counting and the keeping track of the increases and then the decreases. So this would be a fun if you have somebody in your life who would like a bow, or just you could get a bunch done for the holidays, maybe start in the fall or something. That would be a fun thing to do. This is a fun this is a fun Sophie alternative for a quick accessory. All right, and the last project that I wanted to talk to you about today, I haven't cast on yet, but I have the yarn, and it is called the Chloe Top, and I'll put it up here on the screen. And it is by Alana Decos. She has a lot of lovely, lovely patterns, like with lace motifs, just very, very feminine patterns. She has this fun pattern for kids' leg warmers called Leg Warmies that also looks really fun that I want to try. But I am knitting the Chloe Top for my toddler who has a birthday coming up, and I've picked out this yarn for her. She's very sunny coloring. She's very like golden coloring, and so I wanted to find a yellow, and it's also fitting for springtime. This yarn is Cantata, by Cascade. I think this color is ice yellow. And I picked the Chloe top for my daughter because she is a dancer, loves to dance, wants to be a ballerina. And she doesn't like to wear sweaters or long tops because it prevents her tutu or dress from twirling big. So she's not the best sweater recipient. So the Chloe top fit the bill for this because it's like a bolero jacket and short sleeve, so it can be worn with something under in the winter, or it could be worn with something short, or just over a dress in the summer or spring. It doesn't go very long. It won't keep her dress down, but it is something to cover the shoulders and to keep her a little bit warmer. And so it was fun to look for tops for her for that. Sometimes it's easier when there's a bit more of a constraint to find a pattern for somebody. So that was a nice thing to venture into. There were some other good ones, like Pernille Larson had some great cardigan. Well, they were more cardigans. I guess I could have made them shorter. What I liked about this pattern is that it used a bit thicker yarn. This is worsted, and it's kind of this like blown. I haven't worked with this type of yarn, but it's like this blown kind of fluffy yarn. So this knit should knit up pretty quickly. I wanted to not have a fingering weight project for a while because I'd been doing the socks, which are fingering weight, the Friday tee for a while, which is fingering weight. And so I thought it would be nice and refreshing and a good change to have something with a bit thicker yarn. And the Pernille Larson Knitting for Olive patterns, gorgeous, beautiful, but they did use this kind of finer gauge yarn, and so I chose not to go that route for this project because I also don't know realistically how much she's going to wear it, so it's also just for the experience of making it as well. So that will be the Chloe top by Alana Dekos. So that is all the knitting that I have for you today. I did want to give you a little brief update about what we have been up to, what we've been up to over the holidays, and then in January. The holidays we stayed local, we did not travel far. We just did a lot of like hot chocolate and movie nights. We played games. A new game that we got for Christmas was this game Labyrinth by Ravensburger, and it's a really fun game suitable for a big range of ages, and it's fun for adults as well. We've been playing a lot of basketball. Both of my kids have started to play basketball and have gotten pretty into it, which is really fun for me because I played and loved it when I was younger. We have done sledding, hence the worn socks, the socks being worn in before they were even blocked, which is great. We went to the reptile zoo. There's a reptile zoo in our area that kind of takes in reptiles that people can't take care of themselves. Like they buy it, think they're going to have this reptile pet, but realize how much work it may take. So we went to visit that. That place was really fun. And it's not just small reptiles, like there's alligators, huge snakes. I mean, it's crazy. So that was really fun. We are getting ready for the school talent show coming up and a piano recital in the spring, so lots of piano going on right now, and have been enjoying Sunday brunch together as a family. That's been a fun kind of little tradition we've started to just make that more of a special and slow family time together. So that's a bit about what we have been up to, and definitely looking forward to the warmer, drier days here in the Pacific Northwest. We've had a good stretch of sunny weather. Luckily, we don't have snow like a lot of the U.S. right now, but rain is coming for us again, and it'll probably stay for a long time. So we know we've been lucky. But yes, we'll have my knitting at hand no matter the weather. That's the beautiful thing about the craft, is you can keep it inside with you, you can bring it outside once it starts to get nice. And so we'll keep plugging along on projects and starting new projects, and I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.